Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Happy Friday. It's the end of a week, and it's been a week of quite interesting news coming out of the news media propaganda machine of the left side of the aisle one more time. And now it gets even worse. We're listening this morning to Congress talking about how the big, beautiful New Deal will be held up one more time. It seems that the Democrats have gotten to the little-known parliamentarian of our government, and this woman has decided to cut out the most important cutbacks and parts of this bill. And Thune, on his infinite wisdom, has decided not to fall back on that or override her, which now places it into the hands of J.D. Vance as vice president to maybe get involved now and try to figure out a way to save this bill from being chopped to heck by the Democrats while they smile on the left side of the aisle because they cannot ever let themselves have Trump have a win, or anyone involved in this big, beautiful bill have a win. They can't stand it. And the reason now they have gone to a parliamentarian. How many of you out there even knew that we had in our Congress a parliamentarian that could override sections of a bill that was not to the liking of a certain bunch of individuals that just will so infected with the Trump derangement syndrome that they will hold up America from being back on track to be the world's light that is going to need to take place around this nation and the world as we struggle with tariffs and everything else that are showing to be the ideal situation to be in. We now, as of this morning, found out that that we're talking to China, and China is willing now to work with us based on a lot of different criteria that may have fell into place over this last week. And it's just disgusting that we can have people sitting in our Congress that are anti-American. How they got there and what promises they made are ridiculous. Look at this character in New York that just won the primary, and now all of the pundits that say and know about how New York politics works say that he stands a very, very good chance of being elected. This morning, the head of the grocery union in New York, as well as D'Agostino's, came out and said this guy wants to shut down all the grocery stores and open up government-run grocery stores. And with no experience, this guy is a Bernie Sanders. He's a communist with no ever work history or experience to rely on or to fall back on to run a city as big as New York City and all the 5 boroughs. There is a problem here, and there is a distinct smell of cheat going on in my estimation, because I don't believe when only 20-some% of the entire 5 boroughs show up to vote, I think that there's a lot of reticence on some people's part in getting this guy anywhere near control of anything. The guy is a crazy. And half our sitting foreigners in our Congress right now are crazies. Not to mention we have some that are not foreigners that are even crazier. And you'll see in Stupid Town today, drunk Nancy Pelosi one more time. There's craziness right there. She's gotten away with insider trading. She's gotten away with lying to the public. She's gotten away with orchestrating a January 6th, what they call insurrection. And if you want to know what a real insurrection looks like, look at the 4 years of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the 20-some million people that have come into our country illegally, and a great percentage may be okay. But there is a whole lot of harmful people that are now in the streets, and maybe, as they call them in New York, your neighbors. Not a fun situation to go to bed at night and wonder who has infiltrated your community with bad intent and may do harm to your family, your property, or anything else related to a good, peaceful life. And it's almost incredible what they get away with in the city of New York. And it gets worse as we go. There's a lot of memes we can put up to show you the lunacy of some of the people out there that are in power or want to be in power, which is even more scary. So let's take a look at just a little here.
This is a city not of socialism.
No.
I've been to socialist countries.
Really?
This is a city where you could come as a dishwasher and you can own a chain of restaurants. This is a city where you can be a cab driver and then become a doctor. This is a city where you could go from homelessness to building housing.
Yeah!
This is a city where you could be a young person who's just sick, a young person who was rejected, and eventually to be elected to be the mayor of the city of New York. This is the type of city we're in.
Yes, you did.
This is not a city where you use idealism to state you're giving everything to everyone for free. There's no dignity in someone giving you everything for free. There's dignity in giving you a job so you can provide for your family and the opportunities that you deserve. So this is not a city of handouts. This is a city of hands up. We're going to lift up the city of New York. And so I'm asking you, New Yorkers, to continue to stand with me as we move this city in the right direction. I'm ready to be your mayor again.
It's unbelievable what people are being told and how to handle things. And once again, they got their briefing yesterday over at the Capitol building, and they're not happy with that because they want to holler and scream that the enriched nuclear material was hidden by the Ayatollah Assahola. And he is out now telling his population, only for the sheer fact to save face, that he got his rear end beaten to death by the Israelis, and is sitting in amazement on what our flyers could pull off right under his nose. So to save face, he's out telling everybody there was no damage done. We know differently. But the news media, it was like to make the entire American public believe that it didn't happen. Come on. We know better than this. And all praise go to our flyers that pulled this off, and a mission that went flawlessly, and no one in this cabinet or administration will ever be given credit for what they were able to accomplish, because the media beats it down, and it's orchestrated by the left side of the aisle. We all know this now. So the humiliation of the news happens every day, but the mainstream people are not seeing this. You have to go on to a platform such as YouTube, Rumble, Truth Social, Reddit, or one of those other areas of news information to find out exactly what's going on, because our mainstream media in this country is a corrupt bevy of actors and actresses that carry a party line which is not what the news media should be doing. We have seen the last of the days of real journalists. Maybe you can find some solace if you tune into Fox, but Fox is not always the bastion of truth that you need too. They have people like Jessica Tarloff on there that will carry the party line to the end of the world if need be. So anyway, before we take a visit into Stupid Town, I implore you all to pray and pray hard every day for our government, for our leaders, and for the idiots in our Congress, the do-nothing vacation land idiots, that they come to their senses and get this bill onto the table and through the Congress so it hits the president's desk on or before the 4th of July. And that would be a true 250-year celebration, that we can go out this weekend, have cookouts, celebrate, shoot off your fireworks if you're legally allowed to do that, and enjoy a 250-year-old standing republic that is the best anywhere in the world. No matter what these communistic Marxist morons that are in our Congress tell you, it's not worth listening to them any longer. It certainly is not worth voting them back into power in any way, shape, or form. And Congress needs to actually now do something about term limits in our House and in our Senate and get this over with. And also make sure that anyone sitting in these grand houses of legislature are born and raised here in the United States and not somebody coming out of Somalia with pledging allegiance to their old country and sitting in our Congress. And I mean, you know who I mean. Ilhan Omar, to start with. And don't even start me on the rest of the foreigners that are taking seats and the Americans that are in there, such as Jasmine Crockett, that can't shut her mouth and pretend to act like she's from the hood when she's a Catholic school educated, highly educated attorney that should not be talking the way she does and insulting her entire constituency as well as the rest of America. So let's take a walk to Stupid Town.
The world's greatest leaders and thinkers have been among the United Nations representatives. In 1946, United Nations General Assembly delegate.
Let me try again.
And they came over to me and said, since you're a member of the United Nations, we invite you to sit with us at our table. Oh my gosh. John F. Kennedy, United Nations Youth.
John F. Kennedy, United Nations Youth.
Can't hear you, you're trailing off.
This anniversary has a particular pride, the people of my city and for me. For it was in San Francisco that we played paid host to the Grand Conference of Delegates. It has focused the world's attention on the plight of refugees and the urgency of the climate crisis with its sustainable development goals. It has been a bulwark for global peace.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
President Truman said that, and the world must use it now. Under the leadership of Secretary General Antonio Guterres, reaffirming our commitment to those values into the future. May we recapture the spirit of solidarity.
I think somebody's had too many martinis.
There is a reason AOC's main allies on impeachment are the pod bros. They will not impeach, and they will never remove. So why would you do it?
That's a good question.
But here's what I've realized, and I think you probably have too. That principle is empty outrage. Okay, and that is AOC's signature cause. That is why for 6 years, AOC has accomplished nothing but a social media following in Congress.
Truer words were never spoken.
Find a major law she passed as the lead sponsor. The best you'll find is an attempt at the Green New Deal, which was a disaster for Democrats. She hasn't done anything effective about healthcare prices that are going up. People are getting 20, 30% increases in their premium. Where is she on that?
Vanished like a fart in the wind.
Rent prices going up. She just wants it free, right? Just makes people angry, just plays to outrage. I don't know what's worse, being so impractical or so incendiary. But the time for posing and manufacturing fear is over. If you think you're going to out MAGA, you're wrong.
What scares you the most?
Oh, everything. I remember the first day I read about the deportations to El Salvador of the alleged Tren de Aragua members for whom no evidence was ever presented that they had anything to do with Tren de Aragua. And I remember saying to Mike, like, I wish I didn't feel so gutted, and I wish I could stop thinking about these guys being scared in El Salvador. And I saw the paid ads that Homeland Security was doing in front of the deportees who were now prisoners at CICOT. And I was gutted. I'm scared of all that suffering, of witnessing it.
TDS, do you know what that is? Yes. TDS, it's a horrible, horrible terminal disease. It destroys the mind. It destroys the mind before the body, but the body eventually goes. TDS is Trump derangement syndrome. They have it at levels. They can't even stand their life. They can't stand anything.
Something really bad is going to happen. Shit's about to hit the fan in this country.
It was a radical idea. Imagine doubling the federal minimum wage. I can't do this. No way. Rich kids, they deserve to get a free education. That is what democracy is.
Well, there you had a visit to Stupid Town one more time, and it is Friday here. Thank God it's Friday, and we're on our way to a beautiful weekend, and hopefully we won't see any more unrest taking place. Here in Bristol, I understand last night, they had some kind of a demonstration up and down the streets of Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia, and I'm not quite sure if there was any scuffles regarding necessary use of police force there. We'll hear about that today, I'm sure, and we'll report that, if anything, on Monday to you. So we wish you all a very happy weekend, a great rest of this Friday, and God bless you all. And remember, all power, adoration, and glory go to our Savior, Jesus Christ, over this weekend. And remember and keep him and invite him into your heart, and pray often for the leaders around the world that they will come to peace and understanding. God bless you all. Bye-bye now.